This is RadioFire.com. Yours truly, Diamond K, in here. Thank you for joining me. Broadcasting from the Radio and Fire studios here in Baltimore, Maryland. The Diamond K Morning Show. New episodes streaming daily, 9 a.m. Now, let's get this out the way. Today's broadcast is brought to you in part by the upcoming reality show, Chase the Dream Baltimore. See a group of fresh, talented artists with personalities as strong as their rhymes navigate through life, love, and the entertainment business. Visit Facebook.com/Chase the Dream now. All right, so we got the big fight coming. Definitely the fight of the year, at least as far as hype. Coming up between Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor from UFC fame, the MMA fighter, now a boxer, going to be going in the ring against the undefeated, arguably the best fighter on boxing, Floyd Mayweather. Now, as a for any fight, they have to have the pre-fight hype and the stuff that sells the fight. In addition to the boxing part and the record and the knockout package that they have, or whatever, they also have this talk, and I guess this kind of comes back from the Muhammad Ali era. People talk to people into the seats, and that's what's going on now. So the talking is happening. They're having these press conferences. They had 3 back-to-back press conferences in New York. And there have been a lot of talk about the contents of the press conference. And, of course, when you're promoting something, you're going to let the words kind of fly because they need to get people to pay a lot of money to come and see these guys fight. So I understand the need for promotion. So McGregor, who is definitely a good talker, he talked very well in MMA, and saying a lot of things that get people riled up. The interviews, the pre-fight ones, after that, and preparations for the fight. So much so that even the WWE was interested in trying to bring Conor McGregor over. And then he lost, got his ass kicked. Did anybody see that? I definitely saw that. Kind of knocked him down a little bit, you would think, but he's still talking his trash. Okay, fine, good, wonderful. Floyd Mayweather, on the other hand, he talks a lot of trash as well. Now, not Mike Tyson levels. He's not saying like crazy stuff, but just, flamboyant. Kind of like, he's like, if rappers could box, Floyd Mayweather would probably, it's kind of a good representation of that. In the heat of the moment, you say things. But to me, Floyd Mayweather always seems to be in control of his actions, aside from some domestic issues that he's had and being kind of crazy with the money. For the most part, he seems to be in control of things. Now, Conor McGregor, I've checked the record. I don't recall him making racist statements before in regards to fights, but there are not a lot of black UFC fighters. It's mostly white, but there are some black fighters. But so recently, during the press conferences that we've been talking about, Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather facing off, right? And McGregor is catching a lot of flack for the nature of some of the comments that he made on his promotional run in New York City. So initially, the first one, he said the first one, I kind of let it slide. Boom, okay. So Mayweather and McGregor, Dana White, and some other people on the stage, and I guess Mayweather's doing what a lot of fighters do, kind of dancing around and showing, that footwork that I referenced Muhammad Ali again, that footwork, right? Mayweather, who definitely has that footwork down pat, is kind of showing off for the crowd, for the cameras, and dancing a little bit, showing how he moves. One of the many reasons that I said plenty of times that McGregor is going to lose to Mayweather, because the dancing is something that McGregor cannot do, and he wants to make fun of. But it's also going to stamina is going to come in handy late in the fight if it makes it that far. The condition is going to be a factor, and the fact that Mayweather can do that, his condition is going to be more. Regardless of that, so he's dancing around, and McGregor says, "Dance for me, boy." McGregor's white, as we can clearly see. Mayweather's black. Mayweather smiled. He did stop the boxing show at this point. He stopped dancing and went and sat back down. Now, when he walked over, I was assuming that he was going to get in his face, but Mayweather took it, let it slide, but he stopped, which to me shows that he knew that it didn't look good for him to continue his showcase, so dancing, and then after McGregor says, "Dance for me, boy." So, he was coherent. I thought that anytime a white guy, European guy, now, of course, he's not from America, any white guy that says to a black or brown person, "boy," it automatically takes a certain, tone, right? If Conor McGregor says to another white guy, "Dance for me, boy," it doesn't take the same tone. It doesn't. It's not. It only becomes racial if he's speaking to a black or brown person. Other than that, it's just a regular word. Just like two women can say bitch, call each other bitches, it doesn't take the same tone as if a guy says it. Different tone. If they would, I don't know if they would do it, but if a Mayweather had said to a black guy or a brown person, "Dance for me, cracker," right? It doesn't take a racial tone. It only takes racial tone if he's speaking to a white person, because it's a white, it's a white negative thing. Now, it doesn't have the racial history of the word boy by no means, but I mean, there are not a lot of close things to that. So some people let that slide. I'm not going to say I let it slide from the standpoint of I thought it was okay. I decided not to speak about it yet. But he continues. He continues with the thing. So we kind of let him slide. Okay, if you want to let him slide and say, okay, he's not from here. But he continues to dig himself a deeper hole. So he refers to Floyd Mayweather as boy, right? Then he attempts to shut critics down by saying, how could he be racist? He's not racist. Blah, 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 blah. Let me give you exhibit number 2. Now, of course, Mayweather and McGregor both approached by a sidekick of the Jimmy Kimmel show following their first presser. Now, both were asked how they think they would do versus Rocky 3. And to me, that's a crazy question anyway. That's just like, it's like saying, how would you do against True Blood? Or how would you do against Coming to America? It's the title of the movie. Now, is he asking how would he do against Rocky Balboa or Sylvester Stallone? Or is he asking how would you do against Apollo Creed, like a certain person? But, you know, them saying how would you do against the movies is kind of a weird statement. But anyway, as a lot of people do, they're trying to recall which Rocky is he referring to? Which one is that? Is this the one with the Russian? Is this the one with Tommy Gunn? No, this is the one with Mr. T. So this is the one with Mr. T, my favorite one, by the way. And I never shy from my opportunity to say this is my favorite movie. I know this movie inside out, right? Side note, Rocky 3 to me is like a representation of life. You think you're on top. You think everything's good. You get cocky. You get knocked on your ass. You lose. A woman is in your corner. She's by your side. She helps you refocus, tells you that you can do it. You get your ass back up. You conquer whatever was in your way, and you and your woman go off into the sunset. That's what happened. That's the summary of Rocky 3. That's the summary of life. You know what I mean? Behind every man is a strong woman. That's pretty much what it is. And so, with that being said, they asked the boxers, Mayweather and McGregor, about Rocky III. Of course, Mayweather being a student of the game, even the TV boxing game, he knew instantly that it was when Rocky lost to and then avenged his defeat against Clubber Lang, played by Mr. T. Of course. Now, McGregor's trying to recall the film. I don't know. Trying to recall the film's cast. It's trying to come back to him. Maybe it can't. I'm trying to come up with it. Rocky III, I'm trying to think which one it was. And he says, oh, that's the one that he had them at a celebrity gym, the dancing monkeys in the gym and all, he says, right? Now, as I said, fan of Rocky III, of all of the Rocky movies. There are no monkeys in the animal sense in the movie, right? So he's referring to black boxers dancing as the same way that Floyd Mayweather was dancing in that fighting style in the gym that Apollo Creed trained in. It's in California that Rocky goes to after he loses to Mr. T, Clubber Lang character. They go to this gym, and a lot of black boxers are in the, they're doing the shadow boxing, they're dancing around. And that's what he's referring to. So to recall the movie, most people think of Mr. T. He says the dancing monkeys, right? He didn't say the dancing boys. He didn't say the dancing boxers. He took it even further and said the dancing monkeys. Super racist. Super racist. The nerve. But I get it, right? If you're trying to promote the fight, you want to say stuff to get people in the seats. You want to portray McGregor as really having a chance, which I say he does not. But you want to portray it like he does. And I think that most fighting fans know that McGregor doesn't have a chance. Oh, I guess there's always a slim chance. He can land a haymaker. That's about it. Have you ever seen Floyd Mayweather ever get hit by a haymaker? No. McGregor's going to be too slow. But regardless of that, there's always the opportunity to sell seats with the Great White Hope strategy. That's some white fighter that you want to put up against a superior black fighter or brown and give the white people, the racist people, and just regular white people somebody to believe in, somebody that maybe we can have a chance. When I was a kid, they had this with Larry Holmes and Jerry Cooney. I don't know if y'all remember that. Jerry Cooney was a bum fighter, but white people rallied behind him, and Larry Holmes mopped the fucking floor with him. And this happens over and over and over and over again. So this right here, if this is a strategy, and there were a lot of racial undertones in the promotion of Larry Holmes and Jerry Cooney fight in the early 80s. There have been others, but the tone that one took, and as I said, I was a kid at the time, but I am a boxing fan and I have studied this, and the racial undertones there were very clear. And there's some here, but this is like a rallying cry. I bet you if you ask Donald Trump who he's rooting for, he's going to be like, I don't know. He has a friendship with Floyd Mayweather, but at the end of the day, Conor McGregor is a fellow white guy. So I'm sure that he's conflicted. I don't know who he would say. I know in his mind who he's thinking, but I don't know who he would say. Most white people are going to be rooting for Conor McGregor because they don't like the loudmouth Floyd Mayweather. Some black people are rooting for McGregor because they don't like the way Floyd Mayweather carries himself. But if you're racist, Conor McGregor, which it sounds like he is, I'd rather him just come out and say it. Fine. But he tried to defend himself. And how he tries to defend himself is even more surprising to me than him just calling them monkeys, because I would expect that from, some redneck boxer. I would expect that. But his defense of it is even more baffling, and it points to an even bigger issue. So when this all happened, first, in Floyd Mayweather's defense, as I said, the first time he was smiling and he stopped dancing. He smiled and he didn't directly attack the issue. And when asked about it, he kind of denied it. I don't think so. It didn't seem racist. I don't know. But after the dancing monkeys comment, I think that he realized, like, you know, your blackness is being questioned if you don't answer this correctly. And he said that it was totally disrespectful, as it was. It should not have been said, and he should have apologized if he didn't mean to say it. But he didn't apologize. He made excuses for it and said that he doesn't understand, Conor McGregor that is, he doesn't understand how it is that people are taking him for a racist. I mean, I just called somebody a boy, and I just said, you know, the boxers were dancing monkeys, but that isn't racist. This is what Conor McGregor says, showing that he's even dumber than he looks. Even dumber than he looks. I hope he gets knocked out. But those who pay attention to him, Conor McGregor, he does have a hip-hop attitude and a hip-hop kind of fashion sense. And the choice of music out in public and at UFC events is hip-hop. So you see where this is going. Conor McGregor is trying to say that he is hip-hop. He's a fan of hip-hop. He likes hip-hop. He respects hip-hop music, so therefore he cannot be racist. I've spoken about this on many occasions about people in the white culture stealing hip-hop, trying to steal the music of that was created by black and Latino b-boys. So trying to steal it and trying to claim it as his own. Now he's trying to say because he enjoys hip-hop music, he shouts out Biggie Smalls and others, that means that he's not racist because he enjoys music by black and brown people. That's so crazy that he would say that. Of course, the racist record companies enjoy the music because it makes them money, but they can still be racist. Of course, sports agents and team owners, as we've seen team owners call basketball players and other people nigger and other racial tones, but they love the basketball games. They go to the games. They're making money. Of course, that statement is even dumber than the other statements that he makes. Also, during the press conferences, McGregor pulls out a physical copy of Jay-Z's 444 album and hands it to Mayweather on stage. And it was, obvious that he was trying to mock Mayweather when he did this. And he said, learn how to build and maintain a real empire. And he gives him the 444 CD by Jay-Z. Now, listen, it was clever. It was a clever little move. It was clever as McGregor is clever. But so he pointed to that to say, see, I do stuff like that. I'm not racist. So it's going to be an interesting fight. August the 26th. I'm definitely going to be checking it out. As I said, McGregor criticized for calling black actors in Rocky III monkeys, as well as his usage of the word boy when referring to Mayweather. And I'm sure he's going to say other dumb shit over time. Now, if you watching this or listening to my voice, if you feel that the things being said are not racist, please, in the comment section, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at The Diamond K Show, at Radio on Fire. Now, I know some people are going to say we're being too sensitive or PC or whatever. I'm saying he can say whatever he wants to say, but let's just call it what it is. It's racist, and that's fine. He's entitled to his opinion. But, it is what it is. Let your voice be heard at the 2017 Baltimore Music Awards. Nominations now underway for this 7th annual red carpet event. All Baltimore artists and DJs, radio shows, and radio stations are eligible. Visit BaltimoreMusicAwards.com to enter your choices before October the 9th. The 3 nominees with the most nominations will move on to the next round. Finalists in every category will be announced Wednesday, October the 11th, live on the Diamond K Morning Show and also on BaltimoreMusicAwards.com.